Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. We're going to play some Cyberpunk today, and different resolutions, different quality of graphics. Give you an idea, my computer is actually a asus TUF 17 gamer laptop. It has 64 gigabytes of system memory, 4 gig Nvidia 3050, and a 2.3 gigahertz 8-core all-performance core processor that turbos to, I believe it's about 4.5 or 4.6 gigahertz. Anyways, I watched a video earlier this morning. Somebody was testing some games, one of which was Cyberpunk 2077 at ultra settings 1080p, and got some really lousy FPS, like in the 30s, like early 30s, with an 8 gig Nvidia 3050 and 16 gigs of RAM. Now, from what I gathered from their FPS counter, that means system RAM, period. Now, the game at medium graphics ultra does want 16 gigs, yes, and an 8 gig video card. But that's based on medium settings for recommended. And we're going to go through all this so you get an idea. And I can't do this as a screen recording. I don't know why, but my FPS counter does not show on the playback, only while I'm playing the game. I haven't figured that out yet. Something's gone funky since the last couple of Windows 11 updates. But anyways, we got the counter to give you an idea. I'm going to just run around the city here to give you an idea of what I'm getting. So 67, 66. Okay, so we're definitely in the 60s, 70s here now. You know, we're getting some decent FPS out of the game, all right? Now, the game looks actually really good, okay? Now, the question is, what settings am I using to pull this off? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm on low settings for the graphics, and my video's at 16 by 900, okay? Now, I'm going to go to the same setting as what they had, 1080p, and medium graphics, or sorry, ultra. They had straight ultra, no ray tracing. I do have ray tracing in this computer. So let's hit apply, and let's see what we get on my system. So we're getting about this, pretty much about the same exact FPS, in the 30s, and this is at ultra with 1080p. So same thing. The game looks actually really good. People actually look pretty good too. So let's get up close. Now,
Hands to yourself.
yeah, chick, whatever. Anyways, so let's go back to what I had with the higher FPS. Okay, so we're gonna go back to low, and we're gonna go video 16 by 9. Confirm, yes. I don't see much of a difference there. And I got my higher FPS back automatically. So 16.9 right there. Graphics are at low. And we're getting this. Like, that's still really, that's really good graphics. I say we steal a car. I wonder if I can go through there. And again, why is it closed? Let's find out. Should we trash a vehicle? Oh! That one's got some blockers up. Still, that's really good graphics. Okay, now, this game wants a lot more RAM and a really powerful video card when you go ultra ray tracing, and we're also going to take the video up to 4K because my screen goes 4K that I'm using. My built-in screen on my laptop only goes to 1080p. So there's full out 4K. Hit apply. Let's see how crappy things about to get. $17, 18 FPS, 16, 15, 14. And you know, the game really doesn't look that much better. Like, it is better, but it's just, I don't know. And it's really crappy FPS. That's horrible. Definitely not playable at all. Okay? You want your games to be playable, obviously. So, let's stick with what we have. Except we're going to go... where was it? 16. 16.9. And for that, we're going to go Ray Tracing Ultra and see what we get. Ooh. I'm just wrecking the joint. Oh, that was good. 28 FPS. Not really that playable. My brakes don't work well. Okay, so that's definitely like not a very good ideal setting, obviously, right? So let's try going to medium, okay? And we're gonna leave our video at 16.9. Graphic quality is good. It's actually pretty good. Water on the road, it's not bad. 52 FPS, this is pretty playable. I mean, really playable. $65. So you can get into the 60s pretty easily there. All right. Go back to low. We can drop the resolution pretty low in this game. The lowest is 1024 by 768. Low graphic. And not exactly a full screen, but hey, what the hell? Let's see what happens. We got it big enough. Oh, it's still going to go full screen. Cool. So now we're like getting close to 100 FPS here. 92, 93, 96, 98. I mean, the graphics are a little bit falling apart at this resolution. Oh, a bike! Yes! Let me have it. I want the bike. Can I steal it? What? I can't steal the bike? Come on! Oh, wait a minute. Is that even a bike? Where's the handlebars? Oh, they're there. It won't let me drive a bike in this game? Oh, that bites. Oh, what a sacker that is. Damn. Oh, back into the stolen goods. So 97, 91, 95. I mean, pretty good. 99, 100 FPS. Now, it may not be perfect, and that's fine, you know, but it's still really good. And if you don't have a super powerful, you know, multi-$1,000 computer, I mean, hey, it'll do, right, in a pinch. Me personally, I think I'm going to stick with my norm, 16 by 9, and we'll keep our graphics at low, and go back to resume. $76, $74, $75. Definitely very, very playable. And the graphics look so much nicer. Okay? So, definitely some benefits there for sure. Very controllable. So anyway, I mean, the game is raunchy. It's very demanding. I can't wait to see what the newest version of Cyberpunk, which is the one being ported and rewritten specifically for Apple Silicon. I can't wait to see what that does on the M4s. Because so far, anybody who's actually played this game on a Mac, including on an M4, like, I don't remember the graphics setting, but it was on an M4. I think it was using Parallels or Crossover, one of the two. It was in the 30s. And I'm like, that's sucky under any kind of emulation. Now, I have seen this version of Cyberpunk on the M1, and the guy managed to somehow get it to run with I don't know what. But these machines were maxed at 16 gigs of RAM, period. But they're only getting like, what was it, like 11 or 12 FPS. I did that with an HP laptop, and it actually took putting 32 gigs of RAM in the computer before it would even install. I mean, we're talking onboard graphics, crappy computer, not exactly 1080. I don't even think it was 1080p, to be honest. I'd have to go back, because I may have put some videos up, I'm not sure. But, you know, low graphics, that's fine. 16:9. Let's try low graphics at 1080p. Let's go back to there. Graphics still look really good. Resolution's fine. Still very playable for 67 FPS. Very playable. Okay? But the more FPS, 72, 71, but the more FPS you can get out of your game, the better. And a game like Cyberpunk, it's not majorly drastic changes to the graphical environment to really super drop the resolution. The 16:9 actually works extremely well. Okay, let's see if we can squeeze a little bit more. Let's try maybe 14. Let's try 1366 by 768. Let's see what that does for us. And let's keep that at low, see what it looks like. Still looks pretty good. 99 frames per second, 101, 96s. Very, very playable. Graphics still look actually really good overall. You know, it's not like disastrous or anything, so I call that a pretty good win. 63. Not bad. 86, 88. Back to my favorite. Looks great. 16:9. Low graphics. 70, 75, 76. And that's with an Nvidia 3050 4 gig card and a freaking laptop of all things. So, but I do have 64 gigs of memory. Now, the one thing I really do want to stress to you guys is that when it comes to game specifications for RAM, for example, you have to have that free RAM, okay? That RAM has to be free RAM, okay? So your computer, if you're running Windows 11 like I am, that's 10 gigs of RAM for Windows 11 right there. And Windows 12 is apparently, when it comes out this year, supposed to be using 16 gigs of RAM to itself. Okay, now, I don't know if that's the minimum for 12 or if that's or it's going to go higher. We won't know until it comes out and I can check my computer to see what exactly is going to happen. Okay, but let's just quit the game here. Let's confirm quit. We'll take this off here. And voila. Now, where I get my system setups from is right in here with my Armory crate. And we're at about 9.9 gigs of RAM for the OS. And this thing's got to slow down a little bit, but we're at 4 gigahertz, 3.7. Usually this thing settles around about the 3.6 range in performance mode. I can go turbo mode, which would get me a little bit more horsepower, but you need video power more than you actually need CPU. So, because this thing can run on, well, it can barely run on a 4-core. Does need a 6-core or better, though, for the processor. I'm at 8 performance cores, so I'm good to go. But yeah, Windows 11 right there to the desktop, 9.9 gigs out of 64 gigs. So, then you need the RAM for the actual program, which is going to be 16 is what it's recommended at. And it does want a 8 gig video card recommended. I'm running on a 4. And I actually get system RAM shared to my video card to compensate the loss difference, kind of like virtual memory does when you run out of RAM. So I suspect the person I was watching on theirs, which I'm probably right, they only have 16 gigs of RAM in their computer, and I don't know what version of Windows they were running, but whether it's 10 or 11 won't make any difference. They're running the game in virtual memory, which is exactly why even an 8 gig 3050 is failing, because they should be getting more than 33 frames per second at 1080p medium with an 8 gig graphic card. It should be doing way, way better, okay? But it was not. So that's because they only have 16 gigs of real RAM, and they don't even have enough for the game to fire up properly. They're in virtual swap for all of it. So not necessarily a good plan there. All right, so this is why you got to watch it with your computer specs. When you buy a computer, buy it with more RAM. And 64 gigs, if you're a gamer, you should have at least 64 gigs of RAM in your computer. Especially for hardcore AAA games like Cyberpunk and many others out there, your games will perform better when there's real RAM for the game, because there's the system memory, the game RAM to fire up the program, then there's the video RAM, which is separate too. So you've got to keep all this in mind. And I would do the same thing as a Mac user. Like, our GPUs are built right into the Apple's silicon chips, right? So, and it runs everything system RAM. So, and our OS right now chews up 7 gigs of RAM to the desktop for Sequoia 15.2. And then, of course, you got your program requirements. What's it want? Then you got the graphic requirement of the program. We're going to run into the same thing running the newest version of Cyberpunk 2077. You better have a lot of RAM in your Apple Silicon machines, guys, because you're going to get crappy FPS otherwise. And you're still going to probably get a little bit crappier just because of the GPU side. You're not, you only get so much RAM allocated per core in the GPU. Now, they're fast, badass machines when it comes to video editing and everything else, but gaming, Apple has to write that game, or have it written actually, for Apple Silicon for the new Cyberpunk. And even at that, it's not going to fully take advantage without having a lot of system RAM in your computer to be able to run that game on your Apple Silicon M4 chips or below chips as well, because it is supposed to go backwards to a couple of the Apple Silicons. I highly doubt we're going to see it on M1 for sure, but it wouldn't probably even run. I mean, I've seen people doing it under emulation with 11 frames per second. You might get, 25 if it even installs. But anyways, that's what I got for you guys today on this one. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you have more of an understanding about Cyberpunk on at least my system. So when you see people with lower FPSs, a lot of that is going to be they don't have enough RAM in their computer. They're just dealing with 16 gigs. I mean, my laptop came with 16 gigs. Gamer laptop. Yeah, not with 16 gigs it ain't. Not with what Windows 11 chews. And Windows 11 has chewed a lot more RAM since it came out. And my laptop cannot run Windows 10. It's actually not possible. There's no Windows 10 drivers for mine because it came factory 11 and it was built at 11. So yeah, I can't go to Windows 10. I've already checked, and no driver support whatsoever. Besides, 10 is now dead anyways. But 11's been slowly chewing more and more with each feature update too. And I mean, we're at 10 gigs, so come on. I mean, you need more than 16 gigs of RAM to play freaking video games here. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And let me know in the comments below what you thought, and we'll see you on the next one.